here we go. So just to bring you, if you're ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, so just to let you know that we have Joe Pesovich here, and he's being nice enough to take the meeting on behalf of MCM.
Yep,
On behalf of MCM, so we appreciate him being here. And my chair comments have been deferred for this evening, and our town administrator, Mike Moresco, has also deferred his to a later
To our next meeting, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And seeing there are no other folks here, we will make a note that public comments are not here this evening. No one has requested that. So we're moving into our action items. So let's start with action items number 1.
Okay, if you'd like, Madam Chair, I'll
Please
jump
do
in.
so, yep.
As folks know, this is the bill that we filed a couple of years ago to add 3 additional pouring licenses and 3 additional package store licenses. The reason we did that, we got a lot of requests from our businesses that have seasonal beer and wine, seasonal all alcohol. Those are kind of tough for them because they run from April 1st through January 15th. Then they have to take the stuff off their shelves. So with that, we filed legislation asking for the additional 3 and 3. Legislature had it for about 1.5 years and did nothing. They're finally moving it after prompting from our state rep and our state senator. And when it went to the House Council and Senate Council, they wanted it to be specific. They rewrote it. You can take a look at it, and they put in, we talked to planning and stuff like that, and to the folks that are requesting it. And so what they did is they changed the legislation to include site-specific names for the licenses. So as part of the process, it has to come back to the executive branch of government, which is the select board. They need an affirmative from the select board. If they don't, then the legislation dies and they take no further action.
Okay.
So that's why we're here tonight.
Okay, thank you. So we have the addition of, on pursuant to section 12 of chapter 138, I'm going to just list out, we have John Bravo Mexican Grill located at 57 Snow Road. We also have a license for the sale of alcoholic beverages to be drunk on premises, same section, chapter 138, to the Corner Cafe located 2000 Ocean Street. We also have 1 license for the sale of all alcoholic beverages to be drunk on the premises pursuant to said section 12 of said chapter 138 to the establishment within the Brant Rock Village overlay. And I have a map here if anybody would like to look at it. This also is a district development zone described in subsection B upon approval and under conditions set forth by the licensing authority of the town of Marshfield. The Roman numeral 3 within this bill is 1 license for the sale of all alcoholic beverages not to be drunk on the premises pursuant to section 15 of said chapter 138 to Jackinson's Package Store located at 1921 Ocean Street, Route 139. 1 license for the sale of alcoholic beverages not to be drunk on the premises pursuant to said section 15 of said chapter 138 to Hubbard's Cupboard located at 29 Main Street, and 1 license for the sale of all alcoholic beverages not to be drunk on the premises pursuant to said section 15 of said chapter 138 to Ocean Market and Liquor located at 915 Ocean Street. A license granted under this section shall be subject to all of the chapter 138 except section 17. So the Brant Rock Village overlay, and then the existing Don Bravo Corner Cafe, as I said, the BRVO, and Jackinson's, Hubbard Cupboard, and Ocean Market and Liquor. Is that correct, Michael?
Yes.
Okay. So I believe you probably all know where those locations are.
Which is, if I may, Madam Chair, just very quickly, one of the things when we filed, and Steve, you may remember when we filed this, was to just create 3 additional pouring licenses with the hopes that we would get 3 new businesses, maybe a couple in the Brant Rock Village, depending on the development that goes on there, and another one, but they want to give them out site specific, and then when they come up for renewal, they could go to other people. But in the legislation, they wanted to name them, but they were pretty good because they gave us the additional license in the Brant Rock Village if another restaurant opens up down there.
Yeah, that's great. So, okay, so any comments?
No, a good example is Don Bravo Grill in the center. When they're out of season, they have to make margaritas with malt, so
Yeah.
it's not great for them, so.
As opposed to tequila.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
Eric?
Yeah, I mean, Mike, I think I emailed you on this. So in regards to these licenses, and I think they've already been used, I mean, have we, I guess you could say, have they been doing this prior to this legislation being
No, these
presented to
people,
us?
these people all have bona fide licenses. They have seasonal licenses. They have a seasonal beer and wine, a seasonal all alcohol, and that's both package and pouring. And those are the licenses that don't run all year. They only run from April 1st to January 15th. These people all want year-round licenses.
Yes. What are you talking, so I'm understanding that you're saying that even up until now, that's what the
Correct.
following is the
Yep.
seasonal end of
So
it?
then we take those if the legislation goes through, gets enacted and signed by the governor, then we issue these new licenses that are year-round licenses, and then we take those licenses back and hold those for other businesses.
The seasonal licenses, you
The
mean?
seasonal
yeah.
ones.
So like if you ever went into Jackson's, I don't know, Jackson's, they have to cover everything up with plastic.
They have an annual wine and malt, so they
Right.
can sell beer and wine year round.
And their vodka and all the other stuff they have to cover up
Right,
from January 15th to April 1st.
okay. All right, and then and then in regards to all right, so we still have, so the seasonal licenses will still hold.
Will hold, yeah.
But the whole thing is that we could be revisiting this, or somebody could be revisiting this down the road in regards to this, between the seasonals and get more,
Well, we'd have
Full
to go
season
through
liquor
the state
licenses.
for.
Yeah,
and
you
a
couldn't
new
get
bill
any
and
more
process
nice, yeah,
takes-
unless you file legislation. But yes, you are right, the seasonals, we would hold in abeyance, and if some other business wanted it, they could get a seasonal.
okay. Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. So, this is action item number 1, and I'd like to ask for a second. The board moves to approve the legislative changes by the general court to House Bill 5095, an act authorizing the town of Marshfield to grant additional licenses for the sale of all alcoholic beverages. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded, roll call is in order, Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to number 2, which is a discussion and vote on annual renewal of licenses for peddlers and fortune tellers.
And Madam Chair, I broke
Yes.
it up to 2 votes,
I
one
saw
for
it.
fortune tellers, one for peddlers.
Yes, okay, thank you. So I will read this into the record and then we'll go for a vote, if that's okay. So we have DBA Michelle Ann Rollins, fortune teller, Crystal Healings, fortune teller. The rest of these are all peddlers. Surf Dogs, Nana's Homemade Inc., Lolly Jolly Waffles LLC, CJ's Creation Station, The Meat and Cheese Project, Casey's Curbside Bistro, Black Tie Coffee Roasters, Lady Sunshine Coffee LLC, Smiles by the Mile Ice Cream LLC, Al's Barbecue, Wicked Flavor, South Shore Smokehouse, Cheesy Chicks, Dairy Twist, Rope Marine, Sarcastic Swine Barbecue, or BBQ, The Dog Sled, The Chubby Chickpea, Fanny's Food Fun LLC, Pigpen's Barbecue, Delicious Dogs, South Shore Technical High School, Miss Emily Food Truck, Shine Mobile Coffee, The Artisan Pig LLC, Cousins Maine Lobster, Time Traveling Food Truck, Captain Mike's Tiki Boat LLC. Okay. Then we also continue on to the second page, so we have Cup of Amore LLC, these are all peddlers as well, BG's Treats, Homestead Harvest, Trolley Dogs, Flying Boar Kitchen and Catering, Humble Taco, Mom and Pop's Burgers, Bees Ice Cream, JB's Doggy Delights, Superior Lobster LLC, Bento Cafe Roasting Inc., Temperance LLC, Hardly Saints Donuts, Mom on the Go Food Truck, Fetch Barbecue and Catering Company, South Shore Taco Guy, Local Larry's Tacos, Just the Dip, Lobster Love, Bone and Bread, Ellie's Treats, Kono Pizza Cape Cod, Nautical Mile, Bert's Ice Cream, Bert's 2 Ice Cream, New England Novelty. And that is the second page of that, okay. Anything, any of you would like to add to this, Steve?
No, thank you.
I do want to ask upon it. I know at the last meeting, there was a open meeting law complaint that was filed in regard to addresses. I don't know, I wasn't at the executive board meeting when it was discussed,
So if you look at our agenda, you'll see that we have everything listed out on there.
The
the
agenda in
names
your
to
book
be in
isn't the
compliance.
posted agenda.
What is
Right.
it?
The agenda that's in your book was not the one that was posted.
Posted, correct.
So on the
So it
posted
has-
agenda,
yeah, I looked at that as well.
Yeah, it has all the addresses. For things that have addresses, some of these now don't have addresses because they're mobile. They're food trucks.
All right, so when you say it's in this packet right here you're talking?
No, the
Or-
actual posted agenda that you would read online, or you would get through the clerk's
at the
office, or
clerk's
this
office.
posted, yeah, would actually say it's a long, so every action item has the name and the address going, it's how many pages this week? It's
3, I think.
3 pages, because we have taken into consideration to add for each of these their address.
All right, well, so whatever was sent by, I would imagine Jenna, right, it was on the electronic end of it? Is that what you're saying?
It's on the website. Kate,
Oh,
can
it's
you
just on
pull
the
it up, or
website?
someone pull it up on their phone
Electronic,
for Mr. Kelly?
I'm just trying to understand why, as the board, we don't have this in front of us on our documents here.
It was on the, well, just so.
yeah, we've always done a different, in the books, we've always done a more concise agenda than what's, the one that's posted, because as you said, the one that's posted is 3 pages long, it just seems like it would be, and you do have the list in your books in another location.
I mean,
I
if we
did
proceed,
do the same question in my, so I actually looked at it on, as you're coming into the select board, on the, it was sitting on the, next to Jenna's desk there for
I didn't know
us to
anything,
see.
I didn't see
Yeah.
or know about
Okay,
that, I don't
all
believe
right.
so.
I'm just saying, so, just so you know.
It's usually, you send the posted agenda out to them on Wednesdays, right?
Yeah,
So
I send
yeah.
out with all the binder materials.
Oh, so you have the addresses on the,
On the one that's
You know
posted,
what to do, just to make it easy for Mr. Kelly from now on, just
put the posted agenda in the books.
correct.
Okay.
yeah, so this is, I mean, the most important materials that we should have. I mean, not to say that the people looking at the agenda shouldn't have it, but I mean, this is good here to show, but we should also have this material as well. So, all right, as long as it's, I would imagine, so are we saying that we don't have to read the addresses into the
No.
record? Just as long as
Where
it's
it's
posted?
part of the posted agenda.
Okay, all
So,
right,
But I appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
Yeah,
I
no,
had the
it-
same thought, so.
okay.
So we okay?
I think there was, oh, I know what I want to ask. In regards to approving this, so that mean when these come up, these won't come up again during the next year in
That
regards
is
to
correct,
approval?
it's annual reappoint, yeah.
Okay, so the ones we added was like a new one that comes up that we
It's in
can approve,
December.
right?
Yeah,
Right now.
someone that's not, yes.
Okay, all right, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So I'd like to ask for a second, and the board moves to approve renewals for fortune teller licenses from Michelle Ann Rowland's Crystal Healings. Michelle Ann Rowland's and Crystal Healings, there's 2 of them, contingent on receiving the necessary forms and fees, as well as clearance from the treasurer collector that all taxes are current. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded, roll call is in order. Ms. Bidler?
Aye,
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve.
thank you. And this is the second motion on the peddlers. The board moves to approve the renewal for annual peddler's license for the aforementioned business read into the record, contingent on receiving the necessary forms and fees, as well as clearance from the treasurer collector that all taxes are current. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order. Ms. Bidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Motion passes. Kate, Jim Fitz says the clock's not there. Can you reach out to Battis to see where the clock is?
I did see him when I came
Thank
in
you.
earlier, so he was in the building. Okay, number 3, Discussion and vote on annual renewal of licenses for lodging. So the list of annual lodging licenses is as follows. Green Harbor Hotel, the license is lodging. 1122 Ocean Street LLC, the license is lodging. Any questions or comments, Steve?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, on 1122 Ocean Street, what exactly is that? I mean, I thought it was a house that was there. Does anybody, it's listed as a lodging?
I don't know.
It's on the,
It's right next to,
What's it next to?
the Roadhouse, I believe.
yeah, I think you're right. It's been there for, it's not, this isn't new.
This isn't new, these are renewals.
Well, it'd be new to me anyways, you know.
Yeah,
You know, the only thing is that
yeah.
when I looked it up on the map thing, I was like, oh, that's the house next door to the Roadhouse. At least,
Mhm.
I believe it's a house, so I'm like, it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
classified as
lodging, so lodging's that, yeah, people pay by the week, the day, the month.
Like board.
So it's not like, is it an
It's like a-
Airbnb or?
Well, no,
something
it's lodging, I mean, years ago, lodging, like if you came in the stagecoach, not to,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
be staying at a lodge, you'd pay like one night, or you might do a couple of nights, so they still have it on the books. So in Marshfield, we have lodging licenses, we have inn licenses, hotel licenses.
So a lodging could be, like you said, one night stay and then gone, the next person comes in.
Oh, they pay by the week, they pay by the month.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'd like to push for a motion on this. The board moves to approve the annual renewal for lodging licenses for Green Harbor Hotel and 1122 Ocean Street LLC, contingent on receiving the necessary forms and fees, as well as clearance from the treasurer collector that all taxes are current. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded, roll call is in order, Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right.
Thank you.
Unanimous vote
We're
to
gonna
approve.
move here. So we're on number 4, common vic licenses. And these are all common vic licenses, and I'm going to start listing them. The DBA First Stop Coffee, Anthony's Pizzeria, Balanced Nutrition, Rufus at Green Harbor, Bees Ice Cream, Bungalow Kitchen and Catering, Buppa's Breakfast, Cam Fam Pizzeria, China Walk, Coffee Shack Inc., Dairy Queen, Domino's Pizza, Dunkin' Donuts, there's 2 addresses, right? Green Harbor Lobster Pound, Maze, Major League Pizzeria, excuse me, Mandarin Tokyo, Manny's Pizzeria, McDonald's, Pelican Snowballs, Remix Nutrition, Rocky Road, Seaside Coffee LLC, Slack Tide Coffee Roasters, Starbucks Coffee number 7602, Sweet Frog Frozen Yogurt, The Hop, The Mug, Wendy's number 2290. Any questions or comments, Steve?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Eric?
On one, Cam Fam Pizzeria, that looks like it's closed. Do we know what the status is with that?
I don't.
It's got the brown paper all over its doors and windows. So I mean, do we?
Well, so these are all contingent on someone filing an application and paying the fee. If they don't file the application or pay the fee, they don't get the license.
Okay,
So
all right.
this will be part of
Mhm.
that process,
Mhm.
so we can move forward.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd like to ask for a second. The board moves to approve the annual renewal for common vic licenses for the aforementioned businesses read into the record, contingent on receiving the necessary forms and fees, as well as clearance from the treasurer collector that all taxes are current. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order, Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right.
Unanimous vote to approve.
Moving right on, number 5 is for class and 1-2 license renewals. And we have Luchetti's Service Center, Inc., license class 2. Triple E Equipment Sales, class 2. Ocean Bluff Automotive, Inc., class 2. Minot Motor Sales, class 2. Marshfield Auto Body, Inc., class 2. Quirk Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, class 1. Quirk Kia South, class 1. Rothy Family Enterprises, class 2. Smith & Sons, class 1. Any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments?
None.
Okay. So I'd like to ask for a second and move on this motion. The board moves to approve the annual renewal for Class 1 and 2 licenses for the aforementioned businesses read into the record, contingent on receiving the necessary forms and fees as well as clearance from the treasurer collector that all taxes are current. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve.
Thank you. Moving on to number 6. This is a donation with the Recreation Trails Committee. Okay, and this is to accept 2 donations. So we are looking at Recreation Trails Committee for donation materials, PT wood at a value of $385 from the Friends of the Wampatuck State Park. This donation of materials will be used to support the replacement of 2 existing footbridges which are worn out and are in need of replacement. Conservation Administrator Mike Seal has walked the area. He has approved the replacement of the 2 old worn out footbridges. The ones will be of a similar design. The new ones will be of a similar design as the one at the entrance to the trails, which was previously approved by Andrew Stewart, Building Commissioner. And we appreciate this donation. And the second is on behalf of the Recreation Trails Committee, and this is for $350 from Michael and Mary Pierce. And this donation will support 1 trail bench to be installed this spring at an agreed location at Red Gold Farm. And we also appreciate that donation. Any questions or comments?
We appreciate the donations always, and great work by RTC once again.
Okay, thank you. Eric, anything?
Yeah, I'd like to further that, but thank you for the donation, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Ned does a great job.
He certainly does, and he's not here, but I'm
No.
guessing he's
He's
preparing.
in town meeting, he's got a good
Yes,
seat.
yeah, okay. So I'm going to move ahead on this one. The board moves to accept on behalf of the Recreation Trails Committee a donation of $350 from Michael and Mary Pierce. The donation will support 1 trail bench to be installed this spring at an agreed location at Red Gold Farm. The trail benches are built, transported, and installed by the MHS Building and Construction class. This donation should be placed in the Recreation Trails Committee donation and gift account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous
Okay.
vote.
And the other motion, the board moves to accept on behalf of the Recreation Trails Committee a donation of materials, all PT wood with a value of $385 from the Friends of the Wampatuck State Park. This donation of materials will be used to support the replacement of 2 existing footbridges which are worn out and are in need of replacement. The 2 footbridges will be built and installed by members of the SENEMBA and Recreation Trails investors. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve.
Okay, and then we're also working, again, the next one on behalf of the Council on Aging for 2 donations, $240 from Thomas and Elizabeth Balderson in memory of Stephen Rhodes, and $75 from Catherine Newton in memory of Stephen A. Rhodes. The money will be deposited into the COA gift account. Any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments?
No, besides, thank you.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. So I'd like to ask for a motion. The board moves to accept on behalf of the Council on Aging the following 2 donations. $240 from Thomas and Elizabeth Balderston in memory of Stephen A. Rhodes, and $75 from Catherine Newton in memory of Stephen A. Rhodes. The money will be deposited into the COA gift account. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the donations.
Okay. And then we're working next on number 8, which is a board appointment for Jan Martin to the advisory board. I'd like to draw your attention to the application and the resume, which is very impressive. And I had a chance to meet with Mrs. Martin, and she is fantastic. She's not necessarily a longtime resident of Marshfield, but she has all the expertise that we could hope for, and she's pleasant, and I found her to be a perfect candidate for this advisory board, and I hope you agree with me based on this application and her resume. Any questions or comments, Steve?
It's great to have the opportunity to fill a vacancy on the board, and Her background looks terrific, and I think she'll be really helpful and provide a lot of insight on the numbers and the budget, so I think she has a good background for that.
Okay, thank you. Eric, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I was hoping that she'd be here with Rick, because I do have questions. I've looked into her background, and did some more research, especially in her involvement at the Common Square Neighborhood Development Corporation. There are a few questions I have in regards to it, especially her background and resume. I certainly would have liked to got her thoughts in regards to the upcoming MBTA zoning and
Okay.
the ADU that's coming before us.
Okay.
All right, so I am, like I said, I wish she was here to take some questions in regards to it, so.
All right, well, certainly feel free to follow up with her and have that cup of coffee or whatever you need to do, because I think you'll find her right on spot, but that will be your choice to make. So I will ask for a motion to move forward on this appointment to Jan Martin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
I want to be clear that this is for the appointment of Jan Martin to the advisory board. Again, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Present.
2 in the affirmative, 1 in the present. Motion carries.
Number 9. So this was, we're working here on an after the fact for the, Peter Leonard did a terrific Maltese cross, and it is now hung at the headquarters on South River Street for the fire department. And I hope you all had an opportunity to take a peek at it. So if you'd like to add something to this, Michael, but I was there when they lit it up, it was cool.
Yeah, I was, and Mr. Kelly was also. It looks really nice. It's right by where the hook and ladder truck is. It's up on the brick wall, and it's lit really nice with the red, white, and blue colors. So it was a nice, generous gift, and there were young kids that were involved with the process.
Anything you'd like to say?
No, thank you.
Eric, anything you'd like to say? You were there.
Yeah, it was a very nice event, as you know, Lynn. They did a great job with it. The only thing I would just like to add is, I know it was a nice thing to do and all that. And the whole thing is that I think we got away from procedures on this one, where it should have came before the select board, and then we go with the ham, unless there was a reason that we rushed to get it up on the wall before it hit before.
That was when the gentleman was available, unfortunately, to hang it, so.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, you know something? Not to
Yeah,
cut you off,
no,
Lynn, I'm
go
sorry. I
ahead.
apologize.
Yeah, no.
The electrical end of it, are they gonna do something? Because I know they're running a cord out there. They're gonna put a receptacle or something in
Yes.
for it? Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to ask for a motion on this. The board moves to approve the donation after the fact of a Maltese cross manufactured by Peter Leonard of Jones Street as a steel arc token of appreciation for the Marshfield Fire Department for the Marshfield Daniel Webster Masonic Lodge, Nicholas Yates, and a very grateful town of Marshfield. The cross is hung on the outside of the fire station headquarters. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right.
Unanimous vote to accept after the fact the generous gift.
So now we're moving into another donation, and this is in regard to a donation of wood from Mr. Simkic and labor from the MHS Wood Shop to build 2 benches at the Ventress Library. Any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments?
Just say thank you to those who.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to ask for a motion. This is a request for the board to move to approve a donation of wood from Mr. Simkic and the donation of labor from the MHS Wood Shop to build 2 benches at the Ventress Library. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept generous donation.
Okay. The next is action item number 11, and this is to sign the contract for engineering services for the South River Park extension. project. Michael, would you just give a brief synopsis of what this is?
So, as folks know, the South River Park's located at 2160. It's right smack dab between the gas station and the original South River Park. And this is the contract for engineering. And it's $217,900 by the Shadley Corporation. And the Board of Select Board needs to approve the contract. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. So we have the address. All right, any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Eric?
I do. In regards to the documents here, list of exhibits, attached exhibits. So we have A, standard contract terms. So is that what's in front of us now, Mike?
Yes.
So
B,
this is contract 2024-07 from the South River Park Extension, just so, sorry to interrupt
Go ahead.
you,
You
but I
have
should
any
have
more?
read that. No, go ahead.
B, Charlotte team proposed date, dated April 5th, 2024, includes deliverables, fees, hourly rates, and assumptions. Do we have that?
The fees are right there on page 2 of 7. You see task 1's $42,280, task 2 is $155,140, task 3 is $7,980, for a total of $207,400, plus the expense budget of $10,500, gives you $217,900.
All right, so they just lumped it. I was looking at a break, I mean, I'm looking at this as B as includes deliverables, fees, hourly rates, and assumptions, so that, all that is in one, task
Yeah,
1,
it's
2, and
actually-
3, right?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah,
so I was
that's-
looking at it as a breakdown, but I see that. And then the certificate of insurance, do we have that in here?
That will be part of the process, but
That will be part of it, it's not
It's-
included in this.
I can add that to,
And then the billing spreadsheet?
No, that's for what they bill us. All we're approving, all the board's approving right now is just the engineering contract. They haven't billed us yet because you have to approve the contract. Then they'll have to do the work and then they bill us.
All right, so why would it say list of attached exhibits and then have them all marked off, A, B, C, and D, if we don't have all that in our binder?
We don't, this is all they sent us. This came from Sue Karen, who's the project manager for the town, open space.
Can we just, I mean, my look at it is that they said we have exhibits A, B, C, and D, it's all been Xed off, but we don't have them.
well, the completion dates are Exhibit B, so that wouldn't
Well, are
be
you-
current. And the insurance limits, I can add as a part of our motion, if that's acceptable. Service shall not be performed under this agreement until a client so advises in writing.
And then when you say the billing spreadsheet is like when the project commences?
I'm assuming, yes,
All
because.
right, so you don't know for a fact in regards to,
Right,
What-
because all they sent us, they gave us a price for task 1, a price for task 2, price for task 3, the subtotal, expense budget, and then the total of the contract amount.
So I would think you had, the total contract is $17,900. So as you go to the process of paying those bills, you would get a billing spreadsheet, and that would be considered Exhibit D and added to this. That's how I would think of it, but.
could we, I mean, I think we're,
We can
We're
table
guessing
this to
here.
the
I was gonna say,
30th.
can we-
I
yeah,
would say,
Yeah, so why don't I make a motion to table action item number 11, pending certificate of insurance and identifying the billing spreadsheet and any other exhibits as mentioned. Do I have a second?
Second.
motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order, Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
aye.
This will be postponed until the remaining pieces of questionable information is submitted for the 30th.
It's gonna be under 30.
Number
Okay.
12.
Number 12, The board moves to declare an office chair from the library as surplus. You have a picture of it here.
I'll jump in, it's stained and the wheels don't work.
Thank
so
you.
it's-
Thank you.
It's trash, okay.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded, roll call is in order, Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Unanimous
vote to
Thank you, gentlemen.
destroy the chair.
We're also at the senior center. The board moves to waive all permit fees relative to the placement of the kitchen sink at the senior center. And that was put ahead by Sean Bogney, and it's permit number P-24-495, and it is in the amount of $120. Any questions or comments?
No, thank
Questions
you.
or comments?
No.
Do I have a second on the board moves to waive all permit fees relative to the replacement of the kitchen sink at the senior center? Do I have a second? Yep.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order, Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve.
Okay, number 14, we're looking at.
14's been pulled, right?
Yep,
So 14's pulled.
and then, so we don't have
By the
to make a
proponent.
motion to do that. They did it, so we're all
Yep.
set to move forward. So let's move on to number 15, which is the board moving to accept the donation of 2 wreaths and bows from the town hall's front entrance by Michael A. Maresco. Thank you very much for that,
You're
Michael. We all appreciate it, and the town people will appreciate it as well. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order, Ms. Fiddler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept.
We're trying to get to 6:52. The board is now on item number 16, which I did spend some time with Michael looking at. I'd like to just quickly have you draw
I'll
your
quickly
attention.
go over, so this
Yep.
is for 3 due ports, electric charges, we were able to participate and get a grant. This is to put in 3 stems with 2 chargers on each. These are level 3, which is the quick chargers. People will have to pay, you'll be able to use a credit card, a debit card to be able to pay. Total project cost was $458,908. There were a number of incentives. There's a utility incentive. The utility incentive was for $456,061. So the total cost to the town is $2,847. And we do have a yearly service plan, which we cover, that's for the computer technology. That's $3,600. And that would be billed on each of the anniversary dates.
So you'll see that right on this page right here, where you've got the 3,800 and you've got the 2,847.
And
Okay.
there's also a map
And
of where
with
they're
that,
going
that
in the parking lot.
identifies. So you come in the front of the town hall, you bypass, you go past the shed, and it will be on the far corner as you come back over on the Citizens Bank side on that perimeter. Okay, and that is, as Michael said, 3 L3 dual ports with a pedestal mount, EV chargers, and there will be a trench roughly 150 feet, and a proposed transformer and a proposed distribution cabinet as well. The existing utility poles are marked on the site plan. And this is by Innovis Energy. Okay.
And they're responsible to do all the work, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
They do all the work, they have to apply for all the permits, they follow the normal procedures.
Any questions or comments, Steve?
That's a huge chunk of incentive money, so it's a pretty good
I
deal.
know, I was shocked by that.
Yeah. And I'm sure it might be kind of rough to predict, but, do we have a ballpark for how much revenue we might generate?
It's hard to say, but I will tell you, level 3 charges are the ones, so give you, for instance, the level 2 charges that are at Town Hall, that's 1 hour for 10 miles.
Yeah.
These are quick, so you can charge a full car in this for like 3 hours.
Nice. Do we have an estimate for the cost per unit?
Oh, for how much it would cost to like charge your car completely?
Yeah, folks, swipe their debit card or
I
something.
don't.
Okay.
It gets charged to them, not to us.
Right, no, I mean.
And we make,
yeah.
we make some money off of it.
Right, yeah,
Maybe
okay.
we could revisit that when the process and the
Yeah.
project gets going.
Yeah.
Okay, so any questions or comments?
Yes, please, thank you. on the utility infrastructure incentive, how much did you say that was?
We get 216,061 on that, and we get utility equipment incentive for $240,000, so that is what tallies to, that tallies to 456,061, which the difference is what we're responsible for, which is $2,847.
The only one thing was, because it says utility infrastructure incentive, and of course, it's got the little number 6 there, right?
Mhm,
That guides you to a small thing, but I don't see that on the bottom of the sheet. It ends at 4. So I don't know if there's a 5, but this one has 6 on it, and I don't see it. So I don't know, it gives like a description, I would imagine, of what the utility infrastructure incentive is, and it's not in there as far as I could tell. And I was thinking that it might be part of the chapter numbers on this, but it.
You mean
that
a
would-
footnote that you're
Yeah,
seeing?
there you go, footnote, yes.
So you're seeing he's seeing a footnote under utility infrastructure incentive for the 216,061, and at the bottom, the footnotes end at item number 4.
Yeah, I don't see 5, 6, 7, or 8, because the infrastructure's got a little 8.
I think it's a 6, but,
Yeah, okay,
um,
maybe it is a 6.
so we're maybe perhaps missing a second page. Or whatever. Well, we can move forward and we can find that information for the board after the fact. Does that work? Or do we need to
We
table
have a
this one
meeting,
as
we have a
well?
meeting on the 30th.
So then let's table it.
This ends on the 31st, so if we don't get the application on the 31st, we lose out.
Okay, so then
So
let's
our
do
meeting's the
it.
30th.
I'd like to ask you gentlemen if we move forward on a vote and then we find that the information in footnote 5 and footnote 6 is something that we have a problem with,
Yeah.
and we can bring that up at our agenda on the 30th.
All right, so what we're saying here is that we can further discuss this at that meeting.
If there's a problem, is that correct,
On the
Michael?
30th,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I got more questions, but I can hold off and wait at the
Why don't we
Well, I'd
just
like
wait
to-
on the 30th, yeah, because, I mean, we gotta get into town meeting.
Yeah,
If we get 2
so
minutes
we're
That's
looking
on.
at tabling item number 16.
to the 30th.
Do I have a second till the 30th? Thank you.
Second.
Motion made and duly seconded, roll call is in order. Ms. Fidler?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kelly?
All right,
Okay, so I'd like to remind you that we will continue into the town meeting from here, but before we get to that, the board moves to approve the
No,
meeting.
Madam Chair, I
Yes.
recommend we get right in
Okay, we're
there.
gonna get right in there.
And
So we
we're
are
not
gonna
gonna
continue
adjourn.
our meeting, and we will not adjourn until following town meeting,
Right,
or at least this evening's town meeting.
at the end of
At the
town.
end of town
yeah.
meeting,
And this
thank you.
allows the opportunity of the board to talk and discuss anything without violating.
Okay, I
are
appreciate that.
we putting off the minutes, did you say, too?
Yes, because we
Yes.
gotta get in there. Less than 2 minutes. to do it.